Okay. In the Malavi says, if his hand got dirty with let's say construction material, okay? Shouldn't use the regular towel that you use, let's say, to wash the shadayim. So you shouldn't use it. Why? Because there's dirt on it. So the dirt will come off on the towel. And then, so we're afraid, maybe after that,
he'll go and wash
he'll go wash it because he wouldn't want the dirt on the towel. Okay.
But in those days, it was such a big deal to go. It wasn't like I'll throw it in the washing machine. You had to go down to the river.
Right.
And there was so shinin ad the guy's gonna go take a bucket now and fill up his clothes and go down there just because you made a little dirt on a towel.
He says
No. I know, but
it's not just dirt. It's tit. Tit is like building material, like sand and everything, So
Maybe they have buckets just sitting there.
Could be.
Also, is vaya shum dava, a fila b'tzever she'enim eskayim. You're not allowed to do any painting, and even if it's not there's paints that's permanent, or like markers that are permanent. There's markers that you can just wash off. So he says even if it's a washable color, so you're not allowed to use it on Shabbos. And therefore, also the isha is baya panel. A woman is not allowed to put up makeup. And because the Shulchan Aruch state that why does this apply to isha? Because it's darker bekach. Men don't put on makeup, but women put on makeup. So it's a shayla. There is today, I think, certain makeups that they say they're allowed to use, like a powder or what, just, but it's not simple. V'yesh lizoya kishayodav tzuvuas mipeides she'achal. If you ate fruit, and from the fruit, your hands got dirty from it, and there's like sharayiga begodov. This is a thing that a lot of people don't agree with this in Shulchan Aruch. But he said because there's no.
He doesn't want it.
Now he says over here another din. This din, I don't know if it's okay. Now he said v'chein dam chaytma. If there's blood, if he has a bleeding nose, v'dam akasai, loy yikanach b'mapa, you shouldn't like use let's say a handkerchief. So does it say anything else in your Shulchan?
It's the eye in the comment, Siman Tzadik Aleph, Sif Yud Aleph.
Good, okay. So let's look at Sif Tzadik Aleph, Sif Yud Aleph.
I think you told me once. You told me that there's no tzir ba'oichin.
I know. We'll get to that soon.
Now we're not holding up, and now we're talking about begging.
It's just the English and Kirtan text Rashi.
Where are you reading? In what? In
Tzadik Aleph.
Yud Aleph. Oh, sorry.
Also near Beged al Makkah.
Also near Beged al Makkah, sheyotzi mimeno dam. Mipnei she'adam yitzava oisei. Okay. Now the question is.
Oh, but he says over here, im hu miyuchad lekach as mutter. So a gospel would be okay.
First, let's see what does it say over here. In other words, not in every Shulchan Aruch does it say look in Tzadik Aleph Sifid out. The Moshe in my Shulchan Aruch over here, it says Shin Chof No, what's it? Summer base. Shin Chav Ches. Okay. Now, what is Shin Chav Ches? Shin Chav Ches is the dinam of Chayla, Shabbos. So let's look over here. I have a reason why I'm going this way, but Shin Chav Ches. Shin Chav Ches. Okay. In Shin Chav Ches, it says over here, also l'nir beged amake sheyotzi mimenu dam mipnei she'adam yitzva or yitzava oiseh. Okay? So l'chayre, the one that put in these notes over here, to look over l'chayre, this is the same thing that says over here. Also l'nir beged amake sheyotzi mimenu dam. Exact same words as the Alter Rebbe writes, right? But I think that it's not correct. Why do I think it's not correct? Because it doesn't say, and this is what they bring as a source for a bloody nose, right? But that's not what it says over here. It says, also aniyah beged amake, sheyotzi mimenu dam. Sheyotzi means that something that's going to draw out the blood. You know, you're drawing blood. They have a certain beged that they put on the makkah, and maybe has some medicine, I don't know what, and it draws out the blood.
That's what it means, yeah?
That's what it means over here. Well, every place it says the lotion, sheyotzi mimenu dam.
But it doesn't mean the makkah is putting out blood all the
No,
time?
it doesn't say that.
Also the niyach
Also, l'nir beged amake, sheyotzi mimenu dam. Oh, no, the taich is different. It could be amake sheyotzi, that the blood is coming out of it.
The makkah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that the blood is coming out of it. Some want to say that, but the Alter Rebbe adds over here, v'afa pi shemakalkahu, even though it's a makalka, because the beged
It's getting ruined now.
get ruined from it. Mikol makah also midivrei sofim. And then he says, v'koshkem bebeged adam, if it's a red,
Yeah, he writes over here also that.
shemasaknoi,
It makes it look like he's fixing it.
it makes it, it's sometimes
red
it makes it redder. So
Yeah, but a regular tissue is not a beged.
okay, so but a regular tissue, we're talking about a beged. A tissue is no shaila.
You're throwing it out.
Okay, a tissue is you throw it out.
You're not gonna go wash your tissue into your
Right.
napkin or whatever.
Okay, but the Eigum is makel about this thing. Someone has a bloody nose. I mean,
It's not sakon. They shouldn't stop the blood.
there's different.
Is there levels of how
So
bloody
there are other ways to stop blood. I mean, those people that know about it, there's pressure points, and there's pressure points under the nose, and if you press those pressure points, it will stop the bleeding. And another way to stop bleeding quick is a Q-tip with peroxide.
Oh, really?
We'll stop it right away. Okay. Now he says further, Ein liten karkum b'terch al tafshel, mipnei shetzayvei, and he brings over ken kosev b'sefer Chayei Adam. It's really not I don't have the Mishnah Brura here, but the Mishnah Brura brings it from the Nishmas Adam. the Chai Adam made a few svarim. It's popular for the name Chai Adam, but he also Sefer Nishmas Adam, where he writes this din, but
It says over here in parentheses,
the Mishnah-
Das Rabbeinu ein tzeva orcha.
because that's what I wanted to say. That we have a rule that ain't Svia Ba'echum, and
Some type of like a spice.
so we don't go with that chumrah.
So you can make Kool-Aid on Shabbos.
Huh?
How do you make Kool-Aid on Shabbos? Oh, you
You have powdered red Kool-Aid, you put it into the water and you mix it. It's not tzeva. Ain't tzeva orcha, so you can make it. I guess.
The Mishnah brings also that you're allowed to people put take water or white wine and they put red wine into it.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's also because you're not
Ain't tzeva.
it's not because ain't Tzvi Ba'echum.
It's also to do that?
No, it's not also. Of course, ain't tzeva orcha.
Oh, okay, because otherwise, you know, those people that ran out of red wine and want to make kiddush, they take, if I have a little red wine, I'll add to white wine just to make it red. 'cause I wanna-
Yeah. People who want to use for the Seder want to use red wine. Not for they take white wine and then they just do a few.
I'm looking for this one.
Big selection of food and drink. That's right. No single malts on the table, there's just a little
It is?
No.
Okay. Now he says also L'kloya or Rishzar, that means like braiding, or Rishzar is also some type of weaving, like the twisting. Afilu shnei chutim or saras hatalushos. In other words, we learned the din about braiding mitzad baina. Now he's talking about a different shayla, and why we also learned that why is it considered baina? Why shouldn't it be something else like oirig or what? So they said because it's mechubel aguf. So by mechubel aguf you can't weave, or I mean you can't. There's no oirig, there's no weaving on mechubel aguf. But now he's talking. If it's not, you have two strings just, so that's a different shayla. It's not. It's already not baina. Not all it's baina. He's talking about tying together or twisting together. That's what he's talking about over here. Now he says, oh, you're talking. It's all in the Indian of kaisha. So he says, haderachu. The common thing is. Kishetzrichen liksha ezel dover b'shnei chutim. When you have to tie something together with two, you have two ends of the string. Doesn't mean after two separate strings.
What about shoes?
What?
Shoes. When you're tying your shoes.
It's also how to buy by yom, so it's no problem. It's not a kasha.
Okay, so
But we're going to learn now a discussion about kasha. A kesher gabi kesher. That's one thing. Then there's a kesher gabi aniva. That you make aniva gabi kesher. Like people, let's say, make when they tie the shoe.
Yeah.
So it's first of all, when a kesher is also had to buy bayan.
Rabbi, your car's blocking the.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna take my key to my car. Okay. Okay, take the keys and move the car. Got the key? What? Okay, just park back in the same place. So there's different things. First of all, by Kesha, there's a question of also how to buy by Yom. That's one thing. Then there's making a double knot, a knot on top of a knot. That is the worst thing. And then there's an aniva agabi kesha. When you tie your shoes, usually you make a knot and a bow on top. Over there, there's a difference between also hata boy bayim or not. Okay, so the shoes is also hata boy bayim is no problem. The shaila comes very often. Today, it's not so popular the shaila today, but there was always a shaila when a person had glila. When Mary Glila, so today the clip-in or the Velcro, but so by Shachris, so you can say it's also Hata Boy Bayom. They could just say it there for Mincha, but by Mincha it's not also Hata Boy Bayom. So people that knew the halacha knew that you can't do it because it's a question of yeah. There's another thing that's going to discuss over here is a knot at the end of a single string. In other words, normally you tie two things together. Now let me give you a very practical example that people don't realize.
Making a knot in the same string, you say?
Yeah, let me give you an example. Let me give you a popular example. I had it here in shul, and I stopped it also. But in every shul, there's people that have one is a besummer man. He goes around, give everyone a shmektabik, they call it. Has a little pushka of snuff, and as it goes around. Then I remember this for when I grew up in Williamsburg. There was another man that was the eyeglass man. There was a guy that had a whole box with reading glasses, all the appeals. So he'd go around with his box of reading glasses, and he would. Everyone took a reading with different strength, what they need. Then there was a candy man. Okay. Then there's one more called the balloon man. Oh. The guy that goes around giving out balloons to the kids. And the kids should, but he used to, not the kid came, he gave him a balloon and he blew it up for him. Now, if you blow it up, how is it going to stay a balloon? You have to tie the end. It's a single kesha on the single string that you're not allowed to make.
There wasn't a shadow with boina on that?
It's kesha.
No, but the blowing up of the balloon is a boina, maybe.
I don't know if that's a boina, but
they had people in my shul. We never had the balloon. We had everything else, but we didn't have the balloon man.
I remember I had a balloon man over here. Used to give out balloons. There was this guy, the guy with the button.
Charlie. He gave away Shabbos also. How did he get it to shul?
I don't know. No, he didn't talk about me. But I had over here. So that's the different things that he's going to talk about.
But there's another side. If you're saying about tying your shoes and the Sefer Torah, today you have a garbage bag with two strings.
You're not going to tie it.
So even if you make a bow,
no. So you're supposed to tie just one knot,
one pull. But how don't you make a bow?
If you can make a bow, it's not also how to worry him.
It's not a kesha on top of a kesha.
You're putting it out for the garbage man to come Monday to take it.
Right, but technically, if you want, you just give one pull and it opens. It means that you're actually going to do it, or you could because you're able to do it.
No, that you are.
You're actually going to do it.
That it's also a hata by the glila.
Right.
By the glila in the morning.
No, but here by mincha. You know that you're putting it in, now I'm not going to use it again. Your shoes, maybe you take your shoes off without a...
But you know that you're going to need a Sefer Torah to mincha.
Yeah, so the shachas is not a problem, but by mincha...
I'm saying, by mincha, you can't. You can't make
even though it's a bow.
That's thought aniva gabi kesha.
Aniva gabi kesha, and if you know for sure you're not going to open it up in that day, but your Shabbos afternoon... You put your shoes on to go to shul, and you're going to come back after Shabbos.
But you could, people take off the shoes when
They
they're
chuck
sitting.
off the shoe without untying it. They leave it tied.
Right, I do that at the kashrut.
In certain shoes, you can't. In shoes, you can't even walk in with the shoes. You have to take off the shoes before you go, like by the aisle.
Yeah, okay.
So let's look inside. Let's see these things a little bit inside. So he says it's like haderach. The steiger is the way is kishetzichel riksha eza dove b'shnei chutim or mesichas. Mesichas is strings or threads of guys. Or kishem esafiv b'mechut or mesicha achas v'koshin shteik haksabis yachad. Now that you take the two ends of this one string, but you take the two ends of the string,
Same string.
tie it together. Kederach hachagura. Sorry, Kederach hachagura, like a galpel. Now a galpel you take around you, and then you tie it. At the end, you tie it. It's one string, but you have two. But you have two. So oisin shnei shorim zeh al gab zeh. They make two knots, one on top of the other. Ki b'kesha echad loy yischazik. V'oso rasas can be Shabbos shnei kshorim zeh al gab zeh. You're not allowed to make Shabbos two knots, one on top of another. Afilu b'davar shadaka la'atira b'bayayim. This is even the heter of also heter the b'bayayim doesn't apply to two ksharim one on top of the other.
Two times, right.
Utzichu izar b'matpachas shekochem saver v'tzaver halstuch shavulasas by b'shavas shnei ksharim. Okay, now many people. There's a lot of people. I do it also. Today a handkerchief is not so popular anymore.
Yeah.
Everyone has tissues, but it was always popular to have a handkerchief. So they used to take the handkerchief around the neck, and they would tie it. So you can't make it a double knot.
Right.
That's what he's saying over here.
But you can make you can't make a bow because you can't make a bow. But technically, you'd be able to make it like your shoes if it was long enough to do that.
But it's not.
Right.
Like there's a whole tshuva from. He used to be at Oven Borough Park, the Deversino. Now he has a son, but he made the Svarim Ber Moshe. So he has a whole issue over there. People going to the mikveh with a towel. So some people put it around the neck, and some people tie it around them.
Right.
So
that's a machlekes between Rabbi Ber Levin and Rabbi Heller.
okay, I'm just telling you. The Deversino writes about it, but before he was before Ber Levin and before Rabbi Heller.
No, if you just are you allowed to just take it like this and put it like this, or do you have to tie it? Tie it around your body.
Also, what's the derech? I mean,
yeah. And if a towel is there.
yeah. So he says now, v'chein be'erev Shabbos, v'yir b'shnei ksharim, dim kein osra tira b'Shabbos. Now he's saying, if a person came to shul, coming to shul, he has his handkerchief in his pocket. It's no problem. It's before Shabbos. So then he has to know that when he goes out of shul, after davening, he puts it around his neck. So he has to be careful not to put two knots around. What happens if a person is coming to shul already, is like Shabbos dig? So he puts already the handkerchief around his neck. So he says he will have a shaila taking it off.
If he makes it
because if it has a double knot, so just like there's a din of you're not allowed to tie it and not allowed to untie it.
Is a scarf any different, or a scarf is the same thing?
Scarf would be the same thing.
Also, the comment. Now, here's the story with the balloons. V'chein lases kesha echod b'roish echod shalchut or meshicha, to make one knot at the end of one string, not two strings together. Oy li little shnei haktzaves zeh al zeh v'lasais b'shneim biyachad kesha echad. That means If you take two strings,
And then you make
then
one
you
tie.
bend them over, take the top and bend it over, and make a knot.
Right.
So it's only one kesher, right? But it's one kesher at the end of a string. And the idea is as a simple kesher, one time, is not going to hold really. It's very temporary.
And also you're able to take it apart.
But a knot at the end of a string is finished. You can't. It's even hard to open it later.
Even like a plastic bag. I mean, if you have challah left over,
it's
you put it
kesher.
into a plastic bag, you want to make a tie in that one bag, it's like the balloon.
Okay.
You can't close it.
So it's a kesher shel kayama. You're not going to take off the
That
wall.
that kesher is a kesher shokayama.
Even though it's only one.
Even though it's only one.
And only one, and only from one piece of material, not two pieces of material.
That's what he's saying over here.
That's a big problem.
Kiven de bezeh gam kesher echad miskayim. The v'lasa is b'shnei ketzaves zeh im zeh kesher echad v'olav aniva. So then it depends. Im udav shadaka latira by bayayim is mutter. That's called a bow.
That is okay.
But if you put another string,
V'im lav is also a filim who data latira by bayayim. Avolasa shnei anivas ze al gab ze mutter to make what they call a double bow. A double bow is mutter. Because a double bow, all you have to do is just pull one string and the two of them will come apart. But fill harbour, in order to make not a double bow, but a triple bow, 3 times a bow, is awesome, because all of it is fall apart. But fill him data sheyamdu kain yomim rabim. Even if he makes a double bow, that he wants it for a few days, he says it's mutter because it's not really a kesher. Because a double bow, I thought you just pull one of the strings.
The
and
idea is that if you could...
everything will open up right away.
One thing, you can open it.
that's the slip knot. But let's say if you stick another string inside and then you, normally when you make this slip knot, you can pull it and it'll open and it'll go away. But if you put another string inside that bow and you pull it, it'll get so tight that you can't.
If it's not going to hold, if it's going to
It's
hold,
then you
But,
can't do it.
the knot itself is considered one
question
that's not
when
so
you-
kayama.
When you did that, the question is, are you now allowed to put it into that? It's a good question.
I'm just thinking, does it become now a kesher shel kayama? It's because the fact that you put a string inside it.
okay. This is